Hello folks, and welcome once again to another Tinker Tailor Solder Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. What's Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, you ask? Why, it's a let's try program, which means I'm not going to show you how to, well, I mean, you might figure out how to do something on the side, but that's not the point. The point is we're going to try to do something, and then we will evaluate whether or not it had been done afterwards. Something will be done, but that's another show. Something's going to happen. Wow, we actually play a lot with logic here at Loading Ready Run. My name's Ian Horner, by the way, and I'm going to be your navigator through today's project. Today's project, of course, if you check out the schedule over at loadingreadyrun.com/live, is said to be a spray paint booth. Now, let's have a second here. We're getting video stuttering. By the way, audio is fine. What is going on with the video here then? And why is it so... And why am I dropping so many frames on the floor? That's ridiculous. That's over half the frames are now going away. Okay, it's going down a bit and going up. Let's see what happens if we go to a different screen here. Gonna talk about this here for a second. We weren't... Oh, wait a second. Oh, it's Twitch that's messing up on their end, and there were things happening on the Magic stream. Good to know. Okay, in that case, I will make sure to upload this video from my end up to Heather so that we can put up the unstuttery version when we're done. But for the moment, let's power through, because you're not going to need all 60 frames, because it's going to be a slow build. Well, it's not going to be slow, but it's going to be a methodical build. So yeah, as you may have noticed on the displays and the notifications, yeah, I'm getting into model building a lot these days, and I want to paint things, and I've gone out of my way to procure a used airbrush and a method of putting gas through the airbrush. That's actually due to the fact that my kegerator died. Had to get a replacement, and it came with an extra tank. So hey, turns out airbrushing with compressed CO2, real good, real good. But I can't do that in my apartment because I don't want to get paint all over my things, and I don't want to dirty everything up. I don't want people breathing paint. And I do have a respirator. Let me assure you there that we are taking care of this body, because it's the only one I have, unless anyone's willing to donate. So we need to make a spray booth. And Corey approved of this idea, so I thought, hey, let's power forward, full steam ahead, and get this out the door so we can get making ourselves some models. I want to thank, first of all, Cranston Snord for that 49 months of subscription, and that reminder for me to put in the Lurebot notifications up on my screen so I can thank the rest of you who are so kind and generous. And I'll mention off the top of the show that if you'd like to support us, you can do so here at twitch.tv, but we can also do that over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. They will take your money, take a small portion of it for themselves, and then give the rest to us to help keep the lights on and what not. So, spray booth. You can buy these. You can just go to the store and buy them. You can go to the Washington delivery company and purchase them there. And they're usually, about as big as this thing here. It'll sit on your desk. It'll be yay. It's got a little fan in it, a little brushless motor, and a little bit of filter, and will supposedly suck the paint away out. Lysander Salamander asks, will it have a tube vent chimney to connect to the nearest window? It will not, and here's why. Everything I'm working with is basically a acrylic-based paint at the moment. And things change, I'll have to change that. So really all we're dealing with here is particulate filtering. That's going to be the little bits of paint, the little bits of, actual particles that need to not be floating around the room. And there's very few gases and off-gassing that needs to be done. We'll probably still want to keep the window cracked and open in a couple areas to do some cross-ventilation, but this is mainly just to keep the place clean. This is not a ventilation system, and therefore, I want to make this extremely clear to those of you who are caring for my safety and who might want to do this at home. Do not do this particular build if you are looking at something that's going to be, you're going to be spraying that has a lot of solvents that are flammable, or anything with the organic compound compounds that you want to keep out of the air. This will not help with that. This will not help ventilate the place. All this is just to keep things clean. Paint catcher, not ventilation. Yes, MWGNZ. Huh. And Fairgrim, we'll absolutely not be putting these up for sale on store.loadingreadyrun, but you can buy other things there. That said, if you'd like to follow along with the project at home, we have I don't have a, well, you know what, I do have a link. We're going to be going off of the rough instructions provided by a fine gentleman, Entomophile, over on Instructables. And maybe we'll work on that, but I just posted the links in the chat there. And yeah. Let's get to building. So for what we're going to be doing here, we're going to need a few pieces of equipment. Where am I going here? We're going to go over to Big iPhone Town, and here we go. We're going to need the whole table today. Let's put the keyboard over here next to the beer. That seems like a very safe place for that, and we'll put that away there. Yes, CO2 isn't as bad as carbon monoxide. Your warning signs for CO2. And for the amount that we're actually doing the spraying, the amount that is actually coming out of this tank, I understand that people who model pretty generously will get a year's worth out of a 5-pound tank. I expect this tank to work a couple years, so there's not going to be much excess CO2 going out. There's probably going to be more CO2 build up in the studio today just from me talking than there is coming out of that machine. But materials, what you're going to need is a few things. You're going to need, number one, and box fan. This is a Lasco box fan. Other box fans are available. This just happened to be the cheapest one available with a steel frame. So that's what we got there. Whew. Princess Intel, you want to know about the booze? Tonight's booze, by the way, I'd like a sip of that, is Critical Point by local brewery Category 12. And it is delicious and just sort of a West Coast pale ale is what they call it. 60mg Cobra says, to be honest, I never thought about CO2 as for an airbrush. I actually got the idea as a recommendation from an artist friend of mine who uses nitrogen for their spraying. And the reason they use nitrogen is because it doesn't get as cold as CO2 does when it pulls out. But as long as you use a CO2 tank that doesn't use a dip tube, therefore one that doesn't supply you with liquid CO2 all the way up your hose, you're probably going to be doing fine. And if you're going to be airbrushing like large amounts of things, like large size things or a large amount, you might end up potentially freezing your needle through the spray process. I haven't run into any cool down issues yet in any of my test cases, but I'll keep you posted. And honestly, it seems to be working fine so far. But yeah, as necessary, you can work up to nitrogen if need be. Second thing you're going to need, furnace filters. That's the filter that's going to it's going to catch your paint. Again, just get the cheapest one you can. Paint particles are big, so they're going to get sucked up into these filters, no problem whatsoever. And in fact, if you want to double up, buy two for twice the price. You can just then take your box fan or your second box fan, tape one of these furnace filters to the in-hole side, and that works as good as, in fact, better than most commercial air purifiers. So if you're a person who lives in an area where they get yearly wildfires, or you have allergy issues, you might want to consider just taping a furnace filter to a box fan and having better quality air. All right. Here. Close that up there. Good. Yeah, Alaska, yeah, it was what was available. All right, we got the air filter. We've got the fan. You're going to need tape. This is tape. Buy some tape. This is not duct tape. I decided to go with a ridiculously strong tape of some sort. I probably would have gone with gaff, but I couldn't get gaff at the local Canadian Tire. But anyway, tape, you'll need that. And you'll also need some Velcro tape, because what this is going to do is it's going to be something that we can unfold and can be put away nicely, not taking up cubic meters of space. So you've got all those pieces. Well, what's left? Well, you need one more piece, and that's the hardest piece for me. You're going to need a 4 by 8 foot rectangle of corrugated plastic. And this is, whoopsie, what we're going to be using to draw our pattern on and build. Sorry, I made everyone go away by touching the keyboard with the large rectangle. So let's put that over there. Kind of surprised you didn't steal gaffer's tape from the moon base. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a... this isn't a moon base expense, so this doesn't get to be expensed by Ian. This is an Ian project, so Ian gets to cover the costs. That said, yeah, gaffy tape. I prefer calling it gaffy tape too, just because I enjoy and respect the sand people of not Arrakis, Tatooine, and their gaffy sticks wrapped in gaffy tape. This is the plan. You can find the plans available on the website of Instructables. As you can see, they are marked in inches. Hello. And what I've done is I've just, you can see some marks on there. What I've done is I've just changed some of the markings from decimal inches to fractional inches, which is ridiculous. Nikoki, unfortunately, this was not part of the something that could fit in the Mini, and not something that I would be comfortable putting on top of the Mini, because it would just kind of go like whoop. So kind of had to rent a panel van recently, because I had a fridge that I needed to remove from this particular apartment. There was the Moonbase's kegerator, which had also, well, not recently, before pandemic, decided to give up the ghost. So we had 2 fridges to dispose of, and I needed to get something big, and I figured, well, hey, good. Big old rental time. You can ask Bede for more details on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to plan out our spray booth, cut it out, and then work to assembly. And so I guess we should start by getting a pen. I'll be right back. Because I didn't bring myself a pen or pencil, and kind of need those to do what we're doing here. You know what, let's get the pencil, and we'll bring a small Sharpie just in case. Anyway, that is not a pen, that's a fountain pen. That's not going to help anyway. Help anyone. And you know what? We don't have a pencil. Oh, there's the pencil. Perfect. Let's play the Ian looks through his stationery desk game. All right. Yeah, what, not centimeters? Well, you know, unfortunately, Americans run a lot of things these days, and I would love to have done this in a decimal-friendly unit, but, you know, here we are. So we're going to start with the wing. Well, I guess I should spend a little bit of time explaining the how this is going to work out. So let's just zoom in on those plans there, because I'm going to be fancy. Other way, other way. The latency is low, but not low enough, it seems. Come on. Okay, that's good enough. So what we're looking at here is these are going to be the 2 side wings of the device. Of the, I guess you could say, the cone, and then that's going to be our roofing of the cone. It's going to fold down from the top over the cone edges, and these 2 flaps will fold down over top of the edge and attach to Velcro along those edges there. Then you've got your bottom piece here, and that's just going to be sitting as a bottom. This flap is going to attach directly to the bottom of the fan itself, and these two flaps will do the similar thing of attaching to the bottom of the side flaps of the cone. And this is the cutout for the box fan itself. And what we're going to do, here's the interesting part, is we're going to actually take the grill off the fan, flip it around so that the power cord goes the right way, sucks through the hole, through the filter, which will then attach over top of that, tape it up, and we're going to actually screw this whole thing onto the fan so that the whole thing is one big unit and can fold up. It just gets slotted away for storage when not in use. So I suppose, as I said earlier, we should begin by drawing out the thing, which means we need to start with 20 and 3/8 of an inch. Let's get out the drywall T-square, because that's the only acceptable piece of technology for this particular work. I'm going to need to move the supportive chair here a bit so I can get a flat surface. This is probably the most unwieldy project we have done here in the Crystal Gondola of the Palatial Main Tiltio Studios here in beautiful downtown Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. And it's a doozy. Not a doozy bot. Those are for Gundam and unreliable. Okay. Where'd my pencil go? Ah, it was underneath the T-square. Okay. So let's start with finding the 20 mark. Nice, good square connection on the side. And we're looking at 20, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are the 8ths of inches. I don't use fractional inches very often. But we're looking at 3/8 of an inch. And 1, 2, 3. And we're just going to double check that at the bottom here. 20 inches and 1, 2, 3. Okay, dokie. You know what? Let's measure that up now by the same amount, 21 inches and 3/8 of an inch. Let's go here. So up the board, 21 inches and 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch. And that is actually going to be a full-on, not a cut line, but we're definitely going to want to trim this line. So let's add that directly to the thing. All right. Good, good, good. We might as well add the other side of this edge. Ooh, I should zoom out so you can all see what's going on here. Yeah, the ruler doesn't have metric, and it upsets me, but you know what? I inherited a T-square from my father, and I'm not about to buy my own. All right, how's that look to everyone? Can you see? Yeah, you can see. Great, lines are happening. Let me re-latency that, because otherwise this is going to get weird when I do things like this. Count the frame differences. Okay, iOS camera, turn it to normal latency, and then back to low latency. Now you should be able to. There we go. That's what we like to see. Don't know why it doesn't stay low latency. Let's do change it like that. All right, as long as you don't mix units, it's fine. I'm absolutely not mixing units here. Yeah, no, ArcLight says it's drywall square in Canada, so it's imperial. Canadian construction industry uses American standard due to imports from the US. It's true, and just due to being what sizes things are made in. I was recently, my day job, I work on laying out educational materials in InDesign and on the web. And I was just dealing with the electrical manual for the electrical apprenticeship program. And there was a note in there saying that they were giving a example of differences in voltage offsets and illustrating it based on diameter and heights of pipes. And the comment was, yes, I know we're a metric nation, but unfortunately, in order to understand this this relationship, it's easier to work in inches. And so, hate it. All right, we're looking at 28 3/4 now, which is an easy one. 28 1/3. Hey, that's right on the line. And by line, I mean one of those, them there are corrugations. Okay, now, the nice thing is, this is actually a connection point. So we're going to draw that line right up and connect those two. All right. Looking good so far. There is our first flap. Flap, flap, majestic, I'd say, in its flap, flappitude. Oh. I have done a bad? No. But I have done a difficult. There are angles on this that I am going to have to measure. And I didn't think that was going to have to be the case, but oh well, here we are. I know, unless someone wants to do some calculations for me. I might end up doing the calculations myself. Who knows? We'll see. Okay, so we've got that and that. Now we need to measure up the next portion of the square, which is going to be 21 1/4. Nope. Yes, 21 1/4 inches wide. All right, move this thing around. Okay, get up on the line. And looking at what is underneath here. The Velcro. The Velcro is underneath. Yes, sir. Okay, 21 1/2. Don't think about the angles. Don't think about the angles. 21 1/2, 21 1/4. That's a very different measurement. Or a roughly different measurement. But that's going to be good there. Okay. And, you know what? Let's do it up here as well. Get our lines lined up. Hope that it's square. Okay. And 21 1/4. We can probably just, yep, that's going to be not a cut line, but a fold line. There we go. The bottom one is the one we want. And let's line these up. Good and flat. You know what? Can I go all the way up here? Yes, I can. That will guarantee me a good straight line. Hang it off the edge. All right. Looking good so far. Then we get to do the other end here. Whoop. Sorry, the Mirror Cat, if you need to go audio only, that's understandable. Unfortunately, Das Twitch is being a bit of a butt today. So it's 20, how much are we looking for here? 20 3/8 of an inch. So looking at 20 and 1 2 3/8 of an inch. Again, we'll just use the top of the square as a guide, the way these squares are meant to be used. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? How much do we need to get up there? It's 20. That's going to go all the way to 28 3/4. Up. So let's move ourselves there. Okay, on the line. Measure twice, or rather check your measurement numbers twice. 28 3/4 it is. And that just comes straight down. All the way to Chicago. Still one of my favorite musical jokes by Richard Cheese. Go listen to his albums. I don't know what kind of a human being he is, but exercise for the viewer. Sure, why not? Unless he is a terrible human being, in which case tell me now, please, because I would really like to not be promoting his work. So, ooh, good brownie points. Thank you for posting that red panda with the fish bucket. I've been enjoying some of the beavers that I've been finding on my Twitter feeds, who've been carrying food back to their home in the zoos. They're great. Okay, we've got our two sides. Next, we're going to need to deal with the top here, but we're going to need to do some calculations, unfortunately. That's kind of upsetting. That said, let us move on to 30.027. Oh no. Oh, sorry, 36.027 is basically 36 inches. So let's just call that 36 inches. That's going to go all the way up to the top. Okay, 36. Oh, I'm going to go around to the other side for the... No, I can't. I just need to really lean. Oh. 36. 36. Okay. Whew. That's a long boy. Actually, you know what I might just do? Is cut this off right there, right now anyway. And that way we can actually use some more of the space on this table. Just continue that line all the way up. Okay, and we're going to flip this around to do the actual cut, because we're going to need to move some, my cutting mat isn't big enough, so we're going to need to move that as we cut. Let's bring it up, rotate the card Dang it. There we go. Sorry, hitting the monitor with the butt end of this coroplast has caused it to turn off, so I had to hit it again to turn it back on. Where's our T-Square? Still one of my favorite Japanese city pop bands. T-Square. Okay. How far back does that cutting mat go? About here. We're going to go from about 25 inches on down. We'll use that to score later, but right now we're full on cutting. So let's cut. It's a good fresh blade, so there shouldn't be any issues with getting through. Did we get through, or did we just score? We lightly scored. Good job, Ian. Okay, let's try that again. Can we find the line? We can. And give it a bit more blade. There we go. That feels like full penetration. Can be hard to tell sometimes, but... Oh my God, not even yet full penetration? Okay, well, we'll run a third time. Hope it's not just the end here that I'm missing. Okay, there we go. That's through. Let's move that up. Think it's good enough. Slide it this way a bit. Yes, I can. This way a bit. Okay. Let's continue as we were. All right, I'm just going to do multiple cuts down. Yo. Okay, I could feel that one go through. Okay. Let's hope I haven't put any cuts in my table unintentionally. Okay, that feels good. Let's go around the other side and chop it off the end. I can't get there from here. This project is too big. Okay. And through? Almost through. Whew. Okay, that should make things a lot more manageable now. Now that we've got this piece free. Let's hold on to this and finish up with that in a second, because as I said, we might need to do some more calculations, but we got a strong start. All right. Didn't cut the table. I am my younger self, or my older self. My disciplinarian self would be proud. Okay, let's Have a look at that thing. So now we're going to want to twist this in this direction. Give me my cutting mat. Boy, I really need to go ahead and give this table a refinish. Maybe that's a project for the stream too. All right. Where'd my pen? There's my pencil. There you went. Okay, bottom piece, 36.027, which we previously measured and have subsequently forgotten. Let's use a nice fresh edge. Fresh Edge is my the name of my U2 rap group persona. All right, 36.027. It's actually just 36. It goes to, oh great, 12 inches on the other side. Whop. Okay, so I could effectively cut that out right now, but we're not going to. We are going to have to cut some angles again, as I feared. All right, well, thankfully the angles are on the website, so that's easy. So let's bring that diagram up again. And we're looking at, come on, open in new tab. 70, 110, 68.7. Okay, let's 68.7. All right, time for some mathematics in a way that I don't like it. Give me a ruler here. So what we need to find out is the height. So this is 67.8 degrees. And we're looking at this one being 110 degrees. Oh boy, okay, I used to know how to do these things really well. So let us make a right angle triangle with that. That seems to be the correct thing to do. Isn't it? Oh boy, I remember doing this trigonometry, but I don't remember off the top of my head. All right, okay, let's see if we can figure some things out here. So we're gonna have, let's make a new document in Solver. This is gonna be extremely helpful. 36 point, we're gonna call it 36 because that's what we've been drawing. 36 minus the 21.25, which is the width of this thing here. It's 14.75. We're going to divide that by 2. That's going to give me 3.375 there. And then that means that we know the angle. Don't know that angle. Wait, do we know that angle? Yes, we do. because it's 180 degrees. So that angle in there is going to be 180 minus the 110. That means that this is a 70-degree angle here. Okay, now, who remembers their trigonometry? So sine, cos, and tan. You know, I think there's a, yeah, 70 and 62 MGG Cobra. Remember SOHCAHTOA? I do. I don't remember what it stands for. So let's hope that someone on the internet has given us a trigonometry solver. Boom. Thank you. No, that looks like a bot. Maybe I should just say triangle solver. There we go. Trianglecalculator.net. So we know that, let's say side A has a thing of 70 degrees. And then the far side has a size of 3.375. Okay. And can you calculate that for me? Oh wait, and the other side is 90 degrees. Yes. So wait, okay, I'm just looking at this here. So 70 degrees, 3.375. This one is 90. Calculate? Please provide 3 positive values. What are we missing here? We're missing one of them. Yeah, so we got 90. Oh, and then of course we'll need 180 degrees for a triangle. So we got 90. Wait, is that? Sorry, 180 minus 90 minus 70 is 20 degrees. That seems incorrect here. Hold up. I think we've done some incorrectness. So this is 180. This is 70. So that it's 180. That means that is 7. This is 70. Oh no, what have I done? Okay. Try this again. So that's 110. So that means that is 70. And that's 90. So that means that is, this is 20 degrees. There we go. That's 90 degrees. That's our unknown, 3.375 there. Okay, good. Now I can actually work on this. Ewok, we're trying to work out the up distance here, and maybe the angle, but mostly the up distance is the important thing. Right. So where was I going with that? So we got 90. We've got 20. So we got 90, 20, and that should do it. And this is deleted. There we go. Okay. At 3.375, that means that this side is B is going to be 9.237. That seems small, actually. Oh, Princess Intel. Yeah, I'm planning to. I'm planning to actually be doing. What's the word? Painting gunpla models mainly, but also some 3D printed models, that sort of thing, little props, that sort of stuff. Oh. Yep. 110. Now I'm going to make sure that that top one is correct. So that's 36 minus the 21. 14. Why did I have this as 3.375? This is not 3.375. That's my problem. Check your measurements, Ian. That should be 7.375. There we go. That's why our stuff was all off. Princess Intel, yes, 40K figures do get spray painted or airbrushed, and that's actually something I'm considering doing, because I would love to do some Tau work. But yeah, Cameron usually comes on, or did pre-pandemic, which means he'll be back later for more fun. Okay, now we got it. 20.26 is the up side. So 262. 20.262 inches. So basically 20¼ inches. Oh, math! Love it! Okay, let's put that away because we'll need to bring that back later. But for the moment, we can begin construction. Haha! Right. Starting with the bottom, which is actually starting with the top. Let's do that instead. So we need to go all the way out to 36 inches, which is pre-marked. Great. Then we're going to go 3.375. Now, what is that in decimal to fraction? We want, what was that? 7.375. 7.375 is 3/8 of an inch. Great. All right, let's bring chat back to look at. Not often we have to do math on this show, but I'm super glad when we do. Okay, so we need to go back 7.37 inches from there. Seven and how much is it? 3/8. 7 and 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. And do the same on this side at 0 and 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3/8 inch. I think I went a bit too far on the other one. I'm going to go back and double check. Boop, 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 boop. That is absolutely too far. Erase that. That's why you bring a pencil. Okay, 7 and 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, that was exactly the right place. But you know what they say, measure twice. Measure twice, ever learning. Okay, so we got these points marked out. We know that that needs to be 20.26 inches, so let's just draw that line straight up from those positions. 20.25. That is half, that is a quarter. Go. Okay, and then we'll just use the magic of angles to connect these two lines, or points rather, with a line. Oops, I don't like that. That's what I want. There are two lines and one of them is mine. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on this line. Go up to 20.25, 20 and a quarter, fractional heads. I like a good fraction. It's easy to read, but I also really like a good decimal because it's easy to put into a computer. That said, I was one of the biggest brain moments I ever had was I work a lot in design, as I mentioned earlier, and the fact that Adobe software, if there's any place where you can put a number in to specify a length or a distance or a height or whatnot, you can put the number in, but you can also do simple math in those boxes. So let's say you want it to be twice as wide, or 1.5 times as wide, whatever or 1.3 times wider than what the box currently is. You just go into the width thing, take that number and do asterisk 1 divided by 3, and it will actually do the math and properly size things for you. It's, oh, like Adobe makes some pretty dumb business decisions, and they've made some extremely bad software decisions in the past few years. I'm looking at you, the entire UI being rendered in HTML. But I will say, they make a good layout program, and they deal with units good. Right, let's cross that top. Oh, Autodesk and other CAD software does that too? That's good. I would expect especially computer-aided design or drawing software to do that, because that's kind of its whole bailiwick. All right, that looks like a top, kind of. It is square, which is what we want it to be. Okay, we just need to now put our flaps on. I'm going to be right back for that. I'm going to use a different ruler because I'm going to freehand some of this. Bring out the old Westcott. One of my favorite rulers. Actually, the name of one of my favorite junior high school teachers. So if you're watching, Mr. Westcott, how'd you get this number? And second, you were cool. So we need to be 2 inches out, and they need to be 13 inches roughly. So we're just going to kind of eyeball this. But we are going to go 2 inches out. And go 2 inches out from here. Need to draw the line. I do need to just make sure those are parallel. Okay. All right, and we'll just do 2 inches. I guess that's a good place for it. Slightly more than 2 inches. I'm okay with that. And then, how much is that from the end? 5.5. Actually, 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths of an inch. So let's do the same thing on here. 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths of an inch. There. Let's mark that there. Do our 2-inch marking. Good. And then, I don't know, how much do we want to do here? 5 eighths. Those are supposed to be 12 and 3/8, so let's call it 12 and 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch. Seems like a good place. Mark it up. And it's your uncle. Okay. This. Probably be using a like a wet paper towel or something better for that, but. Hello, Peter. $12 and 3/8. 2, 3. Peter is Corey, by the way. Just in case anyone at home is wondering. It's a very... Look at how much space we have for activities.
I was just going to not respond to Peter.
I mean, probably good. It's not your name.
It's not my name.
Neither is Rude Boy. And yet... And yet, have I mentioned how much I enjoy Dizzy Rascal sometimes? He's just a rascal. There we go. I have made art. Or at least... This is something we can cut out, too.
Okay, now you're infringing on my show?
Sorry, I have made a design.
Thank you.
Jeez. Well, I guess we can't have a meeting of the minds between the design and the art. Don't cut here. Do cut here. Let us begin the cutting. You've measured once. That's enough. Okay, let's get this flap off first. Majestic flap. Now we'll have to decide which side we're scoring on for the folding, because that's going to be important. Holy moly, is it 6:09 already? I guess I'll die. Oh, cutting over the corrugations is a very different experience indeed. All right. Don't cut here. You'll hate yourself. No, I gotta twist my body or twist the thing. You never want to pull a knife towards your body. Wait, the other thing. Don't listen to me. You don't want to, yeah, what you don't want to do is pull your knife towards the end of the cut because you'll overshoot. What you want to do is definitely pull down. It reduce, well, you know, I don't know how bad the tear out situation is on Core Blast. I guess we're about to find out. The answer may surprise you. It's non-existent. And now we have this little danger to the eyes. Good clean lines, though. Happy with that. Okay, and then we'll do some more math once we're done with this. So we'll have to calculate out the top end. Okay, and then let's twist again like we did 2 minutes ago. Do you remember when things were really humming? Let's twist again. Twisting time is new. Go round and 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 round we go again. Oh baby, don't you know you love me so again? Hey! Big line, Captain. Here we go. Ah, beautiful. Does that separate? Lift and find out. Hello? Oh, hell. Hello? No, hell. Did I even cut that? No, I didn't. My God. The nice thing is once you get a line there, you can just follow it pretty easily. And hopefully yes, there we go. Looking good. I'm going to be going and break in a few minutes, Corey. If that's relevant to your interests. Just going to finish cutting out this this thing. You don't need the T-square anymore. That's too big. Just going to nope, I want to do that the other way. I keep saying pull away from the tangent. Do not pull towards the tangent. But we can do this side here. And probably while we're at this one, just to get them done. And we want to go to the deep line. Okay, there we go. Turn it again. Make sure it's on the cutting mat. And let's get our final cuts going. I did the wrong thing, but you know what? We're just going to go with it. Hope it turns out okay. We'll see when we get there. Whoever thought they'd do a reboot of The Prince of Bel-Air? Ah! He forgot one very long cut. And then was shamed forevermore. All right, that should do it. That should do it. We have freed the prisoner, friends. Our first and the top piece of our lovely spray booth has been completed, which means it's time for us to take that first break of the evening. So, get up, stretch your legs, swap your fluids, do what you need to do, and we'll be back with more Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry, and the creation of this box fan paint booth in just a few minutes. Don't go away. Folks, we are back with more Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry, which is the program. What we're doing in the program today is we are creating a spray paint booth, sort of a particulate catcher for future painting activities. And we're making it out of Coroplast, which thankfully the Americat has helpfully put in the chat to identify it for those of you who are not familiar. Right, so we've just finished our top part, which is going to, that put something in my eye. Ow, ow, ow. Not ow, but damn it. Okay, hold on. I have now touched my glasses and this cannot stand. I cannot have oil on in my vision while I am working. My apologies, folks. Oh, no. Very wrong. Also, let's get some of the dust off there. There we go. Smeared on. Boop. Good. All right, where were we with that? Yes, so this is going to be the top. If you were the spray booth would be about, top would be about here, and, well, you wouldn't see. This is a bad analogy. Okay, that's the part we just finished. Now we've got to do more, and by more, I mean we have to do more calculations probably, and also more drawing and cutting, but soon this will be the end of it. All right, let's put that down there. This down here. I'm going to flick this at the camera because it's going to be cool. Just give me a second to find the balance point. No. I think it wants to go like this. Yes. Let's see here. No. Maybe? No. There we go. Wow. Good. Good. I still got it. Where was I? Aha. On the floor. I was on the floor. So now we're going to need to figure out oh, I'm sorry, what I just did was the bottom. So we'll have fun with the bottom. Okay, so what I've done here is incorrect, and probably not a problem, but this is why you measure twice and cut once. Because what I've done, let me just bring this up here in big format. So as you can see, we've got our plan here, and we've got the butt portion, which we just finished up. The problem is the butt portion is contains this tab on the back top end, which we did not include on top. What I have done, in fact, was do all the calculations and drawing necessary for this part. Now, the reason this is going to be okay is because I can just use this now as a template for what the top piece needs to look like. Roughly, I guess. I didn't quite get that. But yeah, I think we can use this as a template, and then we can just go from there. So let's just do that. We'll figure out a way to attach to the bottom of the fan later. Probably just more tape is honestly all it's going to need, but here we are. Okay, so let's keep that nice and straight, and then we're just going to trace with the pencil. And then we'll use a ruler to cut so that it's properly straighter, but this definitely does cut down on the need for any, mathematics. You do not need to engage the calculus. Okay, it's not going to match because this is slightly wider than the bottom, but that's okay. Zoop. Zoop. Zoot zooty. Zoot. And there we go. And that is going to be it. Perfect. What I am going to do, though, is just for purposes of scoring things later, I am going to connect up these lines, just so I know where to cut gently through the coroplast. Although I suppose I could do that on either side. All right. I don't know. Shall we get to cut? Shall we get to cutting? You didn't get to see any of that. Arc-like Dynamo, did I just Babylon 5 you? Absolutely I did. Too many knives getting that as well. Now, I am a huge B5 nerd, and I don't know. I would drop that on Penn and or Tailor, and they would have no freaking clue what I would be talking about, and then I'd feel very embarrassed, and then the simulation would be over, and then I would realize that I should never do that in real life. Oh god, it's also a Harlan Ellison reference? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he was involved in a lot of those early series, wasn't he? Or episodes. Hey, you know what I'm about to do? Ruin this thing, because this is not one of the lines I have to cut. Let's be very clear here. You know what? I'm going to actually do that. This line gets cut. This line gets cut. This line gets cut. Cut, 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 cut. I'm just going to very carefully shade all the cut lines, and if it doesn't have a wave through it, it doesn't get cut. Did that get? That didn't get lined up. Go. And that's it. Good. Now we know. Now we know. I don't know if Penn and Teller have actually watched Babylon 5. They're very busy people, and I would assume that they probably at least watched their own episode, but I tell you what, I certainly don't watch everything I'm in. That said, I think enough time has probably passed on Corpline that if I were to go back and listen to it, I would have no idea what was being said there, or what I was going to say. So maybe I should do that as a fun thing. Good. There we go. That's a good cut. Oh, Ellison did Tailor's voice for him on Babylon 5? What the hell? I was not aware of that part. Okay, let's get these lines. Speaking of lines, let's get lines lined up for cutting. Ah, no, 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 no. Follow the ruler. Knife, not whatever you want to do. Whatever you're doing. Okay, and then we'll just something here. There. And then we'll break out the Westcott for the reasonable bits there. What? Why does the X-Acto knife look like a fountain pen? You know what? I don't know. I honestly also don't know why I was using this particular X-Acto knife today. Because it's, I've got my other knives. My offals. But, right, because I was going through my old stationery and figuring out what it was that I could dispose of, because I'd never used and what was still getting used. And realized I had a ton of blades for this one. And honestly, one of my things I've realized about myself is that I need to get a lot less precious about my hobby knife blades. I have enough of them now that it's probably worthwhile for me to just put a new, fresh one in each time I'm going to do a project. Or even each separate session of the project. Which means I also need to dedicate a can somewhere in the house to sharps. That's for later, to decide. Does that pop out? That does not pop out. We did not get all the way through there. Wow. Follow the real line, not the line your knife decided for you. Look, Daryl, I know it's your first night at Knife Club, but you gotta decide, are you a wife guy or are you a knife guy? We care about sharp blades and safety. And also good rocking technique and cat's paw. But you gotta decide why you're here. Rocco is the guy Rocco's the wife guy who just joined Knife Club. There we go. We're creating lore, deep lore here. On the Tinker Tailor. Where'd you go? Okay, no farther than there. No, it's the edge of my cutting mat. Just marking for there. Dang. There we go. Oh, come on! Well, we'll freehand the last few sections. Okay, and be careful. And freehand. Macromedia freehand. That's how you can tell I am an old, because I think that Macromedia is still a company. or that people remember what Macromedia was. Okay. Good. All right. Let's get the knife. Rock Butcher has a less rosy view of Macromedia. I know there are controversial opinions on Flash, but honestly, it's like you kids don't even remember Shockwave. There we go. Good. And back to the Westcott, I believe. Ooh, and then we're going to need to cut a hole in this friend, but we'll get there. We'll get there in a second. All right. Good. Okay. Nice, sharp, clean edges. Nice, sharp, clean edges, Ian. Make it right. Okay, and then down, and out. Just another one. Weirdly, the feel of cutting into the cutting mat is very similar to the feel of cutting through this coroplast, so hard to tell when we've got all the way through there. Had to deal with a website managed with Contribute. It was not fun, TM. Ooh. Now, Shockwave was the precursor to Flash. Was used a lot, at least on the Macintosh, or at least a lot in early multimedia development, because it was a cross-platform tool for designing interfaces. So you could program once and deploy on both Windows and Macintosh, because those are the only two platforms that exist anymore. Linux was barely a glint in Linus's eye. I remember thinking about installing Linux on my Power Macintosh 7600 and deciding to myself, you know what, I don't need that many floppy disks in my life. Oh yeah, Linux is huge on the server side things, Lurker Spud. I'm aware. I'm also aware that FreeBSD is pretty big on the server side of, well, OpenBSD and FreeBSD. BSD in general. There are a lot of OSs out there. There we go. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that OS2 got used, and I think is still in use in some ATMs out there. It had a long and storied life, the OS2, and I will never, the one thing I will never forget about OS2 was the OS2 Warp commercials, specifically the one with the nuns talking about protected memory and preemptive multitasking. But specifically for the line, "Oh, es du bist warp?" It was very... It was a weird commercial, let's say that. Okay, let's cut partway down and then finish it out halfway up. Good. It's good cuts. Not enough runs on QNX anymore too. We need more good real-time we need a good modern real-time operating system. And by modern I mean like early 2000s. Please not modern by today's standards in terms of Windows 11 and Mac OS 10. Mac OS X. Technically it's Mac OS, just Mac OS now? Mac OS 12, I think? I don't know. I don't like it. The X meant something. Mac OS X. And it didn't mean 10. Let me tell you that. Not to the people who knew what was up. What's up? Weirdo Ontario Educational Computer I've talked about wanting to do preservation on, says our Archivite Dynamo. It ran an early version of QNX on an 8186. Oh my lord. Whew. Oh, Inquisitor, I've absolutely done that. The accidental pasting. Which is why, and I tell this to people because it's impossible to guess. But I use a Unix command as my, or modified Unix command, or terminal command as my password, or base password. I add things to it to keep it secure, but it means that I can paste something into a chat window, and usually no one will notice. It's like, oops, oh yeah, don't worry about it. That was just, that was meant to go to my terminal. All right, there we go. Got to get some of this van dust off the backside. Absolutely filthy. I guess also just regular Home Depot detritus. I'm honestly not sure why I'm taking the time to do this, because this is going to become filthy with paint very quickly, but I think it's really just to have a nice work surface and to avoid dirtying up my table too much. Okay. Let's call that cleanly. Ew. Okay. What we needed to do now was we actually needed to add and square for the fan. But before we do that, I want to get the fan out and have a look at how it fits into this this zone. So let's do that. Let's get the fan out. Ah. And out. Manual, who needs that? Plastic box, unnecessary. Whatever this is, this seems... Ah, it's a foot! Okay, these are feet. We don't need these either. Let's pull that out, and pull this out. So, if I recall, what we want to do, we want to take the back of the fan off, and reroute this, this horribly hot glued power cable. Wow. out the other side of the other side. So we're going to need a screwdriver. I'm going to grab one right now. We'll use the kitchen screwdriver. I should get myself a better kitchen screwdriver because I'm worth it. Here we go. Good work. All right, so we're going to pull off the case. AOL Instant Messenger turns 25 today. Good on him. Is it? Are the servers still running? Because I really hope so. ICQ is one of the ones I wish stuck around. But... oh well, now we've got Facebook and WhatsApp and Telegram. Spidomorphi trying to use text to immediately give everyone anxiety in the chat of a certain age. Oh. IRC doesn't still exist in some places. Sauerkraut. IRC exists everywhere. I was not aware that ICQ was still being used and still being developed. That's great. Now, I even back in the ICQ days, I was still one of those third-party client. I don't want to say nerds. I want to say evangelist is probably the right word for it. Anyway, we're going to flip this over and we're going to open up the gate just a bit to let that cord through. You know, maybe we'll just rather than bending it, we'll just take it all the way off. Do it properly for once. In my goddamn life. Pigeon was a good client, the Real Gamer Account. My client of choice, again, because I am a Macintosh flavor of Unix nerd, was Adium, or Adium, depending on your pronunciation. It was a little green duck, and it was still the best, hands down, no holds barred, the absolute best instant messaging client I've ever used. All right, let's snake that power through in a way that is compatible with what we're doing here. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to trim just a bit of the plastic down here next to the bar. And we'll use that as a, not really a strain relief so much as it is just going to be a method of getting that cable out. No, you know what? Let's use the knife. Let's trim it down a bit. Whoop. Make it about the width of a cable. I'm just going to use pliers. There you are. Needle nose pliers. We'll just twist those bits out. And that should provide a nice path for the cable to exit the fan. Well, look at that. Just big enough. Perfect. All right. And we are going to take those screws and put them back in. Pigeon's still being developed? Very cool. More alternative clients for things, please. It's I'm pretty sure everyone here is probably aware of Ian's law of Twitter. And this applies to just about any currently developed and in use web protocol, or not a web protocol, but any program on the web is if you want to have a good time on Twitter, do not let twitter.com decide what you see on twitter.com, which is to say use a third party client always and forever. Microsoft Word is 27, which means you can rent a car in the US. Good God. Do you have to be 27 to rent a car in the US now? I thought it was 21. Simoner, you've never sent a tweet. Are you missing anything? Absolutely not. If you have nothing to say, you should absolutely not be tweeting. Yeah, Princess Intel, Twitter is a cesspool if you don't curate your the people you follow. If you do curate the people you follow and then use a third-party client to make sure that you never see tweets from people who aren't the people you've chosen to follow, and instead are just getting a fire hose of bullshit, yeah, you're going to have a bad time. Okay. This looks good. Gonna make sure that cord doesn't interfere with the blades. These blades, by the way, are super flimsy. I hate them. But here, this is actually important. You see all this exposed coilage? That's because this is not a brushless motor. This is a very simple electric motor, and if you end up sending a flammable gas through here, there is not a guarantee, but there is enough of a chance that it could cause a spark and ignite it, that it's, as I said at the top of the program, not worth trying to put flammable materials through this. All right. So we're just having a look here, and I'd say it looks like everything's going to fit properly, I think. So let us begin the attachment process, I believe. Well, not the attachment process, but we are going to want to cut out the 18-inch hole in the center. So let's do that. Where's my guide? 18.25 is the width. Oh, come on. And 18.25. Well, you know what? We can just, let's make it 18 and call it even, because that makes it very easy to line up on the squares. And honestly, then we don't need to worry about measuring past the ruler, using a bigger ruler, or what have you. So yeah, 18. That's centered up roughly? Sure. We do the same on that side. Center it up. Full width. Ah! Okay. Same thing here. Not quite a perfect square, but close. You know what? I think we're just going to cut it out as is. Let's just make sure that the holes on the back of the fan are going to show up within the zone. And if we line that up there, hole are in the uncut zone. Let's center this. Okay. Hole is in the zone. That goes down to the base. Hole is in the zone. So actually what we might want to do is just move things down by about half an inch. I'm going to poke. No, I'm not going to poke anything, but it's very close. But let us mark our top here. Okay. So I've marked where I think these screw holes are. Roughly. And then we can just adjust. Yeah, let's just adjust. So that doesn't need to be up there. We can take this all the way. Actually, let's see if I can do that on the bottom side too, just to make sure I know where things go. Okay, screw hole am here. Actually, let's look at these feet. And how they're going to attach themselves. Oh, cool. Okay, this is going to be great. Foot's on the wrong side. Well, that's not so useful to us, but that's fine. We're going to provide... We don't need the feet at all. Because I think this is going to provide enough cover. But yeah, we want this to sit on the ground comfortably. Which means I'm probably going to want to shave some plastic off here. And I'm going to do that right now. From these edges. So let's just... The front panel has these little tabs of plastic. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to actually use some nippers on those. But big nippers. We'll make it easy on ourselves. Okay. And side cutting. Ow. Okay, that's one side. Come Don't snip the cable. There we go. Good, good. There we go. Plastic tabs removed. Oh, okay. And now we are flat against the bottom. Esque. And give me some holes. Okay, so those are going to be pretty close to the edge, but we now have a better idea of how far down we can go. So let's even that out and call that our low end. We're going to keep it centered. Okay, and I'm going to mark that as a cut line. And then we're going to go up 18. Is that correct? Is that lined up? I want to make sure of that. Boop and boop. That's flat against the bottom. Boop and boop. Yeah, no, that's right where it needs to be. Okay. I guess let's just line up these 18 inches all the way up the sides. Mark the top. And let's even that out there. It's going to be roughly the same. Give the top a bit more space. Cut that line. Cut this line. And that line seems good. Do that down there. Cut that line too. All right. Oof. Good starts, good starts, good starts. Let's cut some lines, folks. Get that out. Let's give, you know what, let's give, we deserve some nice things. Let's give ourselves a fresh blade. Bam. Snappy. I'm pretty sure the tip of that blade is somewhere in this cutting mat right now anyway. Okay. Big cutting. You know what? No. I'm going to leave it some extra space at the bottom. Just because I'm feeling generous to myself. And a smaller aperture will result in faster airflow, he said, sounding confident. Right, from the window to the wall. Westcott. Okay, and I'll just get that in there. Did I get through all the way? Yes, I did. Good. All right, now down the side. Actually, no, top first. Is my mat underneath where I'm cutting? No, it wasn't at all. Good way to ruin your heritage table, right? Also, who else has nightmares about just slicing your thumb clean off? Down the side now. Let's twist that mat. Make sure we've got plenty of runway. And then get to cutting. Keep a bit far, but that's okay. We didn't ruin anything. Just a good cut. And then again on this side. Oh, we're getting tantalizingly close to something that's going to resemble something here. Oop. Didn't quite get there. Almost, but not quite. There we go. I think I felt that go. There we go. Corners. And there we go. That's a hole. That's a hole right there. Let's clean up that little bit of there. There we go. A little flashing. All done. Okay. Let's do some scoring, because I think it's time for us to do some scoring, which means cutting, but not all the way through the coroplast. Which means I'm going to use the minimum viable knife length. We're just going to score. Just going to score. On the line. Never deviating from the line. No one saw anything. Okay, let's see how this folds with just that little bit of scoring. Oh, ho, 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 friends. Take a look at that nice, clean bend. Yes. That's how we make a box. Okay, let's do that with the other side here. Same dealio, same depth. Just enough to open it up is all we need. And then this side, also good. Yes. Yes, Adam, yes. All right. One more, and then a couple, well, two more scores on this side. And then a few more on the other piece, and we might be done with cutting. At least cutting coroplast. Okay. Line it up. This is going to do murders for my back. Right, this side is just along the the lines of molding, so that one it's real easy to score. There we go. Just a couple more. One. Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm scoring this on the right side. By right, I mean correct side. Good. And then the last one on this side, and then I will do a quick test assembly. Okay, good. Let's quick test bend those. Great. And then, let's very quickly. Hey, Mom, I need to make a diorama for my science fair. And we're there, at least partially. It's a cone, or a square cone. This is going to be fantastic, I believe, once we get it properly all mounted up and whatnot. But it's already holding together amazingly. That. Give it a bit more of a crease. Yes. Yes, Adam, yes. And there we go. Okay. Top portion complete. Next up. Mounting it to the fan. But you know what? Now seems like a good time for us to take another one of those short breaks, because we're about to move to the next stage. So don't go away, but do get up, swap your fluids, stretch your legs, and get ready for more Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry in just a couple minutes. Please don't go all the way away. Hey everybody, we're in the process of making a paint spray booth. Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry today, and we have really been motoring along, actually. We've only got a couple extra cuts to make. In fact, we should probably make the cuts now. Although they aren't cuts, these ones are going to just be the scoring necessary for the burr, 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 burr. Stay good. The bottom panel. And there we go. All we need to do now is just score along here, but not along here, so I haven't squigglied that line. To come up with another visual mnemonic for scoring lines, I think. Love that feel. You get to feel every bit of the corrugation as it slides against the knife. All right, here we go. And there we go. That's two sides. Ready for the bottom. We'll then clamp up and hug the bottom with Velcro. Good. Done that. Let's get the fan up here. Let's begin the process of attachment. So we need to bring this up here. Oh, and we're gonna need to connect in a way. This looks good. So now we just need to find out where the holes are. Thankfully, these are just screws with a point in them, so we can just push them right through. But, oi, oi, oi. Dios mío. Put that underneath there. Okay, now we can properly see some things. So let's make sure we're centered, roughly. That looks centered. That is true to plumb on the bottom. Okay, find me an hole to put an screw in, folks. I think we're just going to go right through here and hope for the best. Come on, me. All right, that's pretty close to where I wanted it to be. Now we'll just continue to screw these in where they go. And then we'll, of course, tighten things up once it's, once we've got everything properly in place. Oh, this is looking good. I'd consider possibly a, actually, I'm going to grab a small finishing nail or a small pin, actually, to help me out with this. Because if I can come up from the bottom using the pin, I can find out where to put the screw specifically, and it'll be a lot less guesswork there, especially in some of the areas. All right. Pin retrieved from the sewing box. Let's flatten it down and push up through the screw hole. Straight up. Avoiding finger. Oh my, that's very close to the fold. But that's kind of what we expected. Let's check the other side. Pinprick is fine. How's this side doing? Watch the fingies. Pin goes up. That's pretty close to the fold too. But yeah, you know what? We're just gonna have to deal with it. I don't think there's any good way of centering things. Okay, there's that one. And then that one, I suppose, if we put it here on the inside of the fold, absolutely. Then it's absolutely inside of the fold, right? Right? Yeah, no one has a problem with this. Except maybe the angle in which the screw is going in. Okay, I'm going to call that fine. It's close enough for Ian work. All right, and then these ones are pretty easy. Straight up through there, and this one is don't touch the wires. Straight up through here. Great. Good job, me. Straight down here. Now, my one issue with this fan case design is that it is, what to say, a bit difficult to change the filter, so we're probably not going to be changing the filter too often. That said, ow, don't touch the screw directly in. Where was I going with that statement? That said, it should be pretty easy to change out the filter with just tape. And here's the important question. Did we measure that properly? Or how screwed are we? Let's take one of these filters out. Let's do a test fit here. Okay. Merv 8. I hear them say this might be the last harvest of okra. Air movement is this direction. Oh ho 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 ho! Would you look at that? Mwah. Beautiful. Okay. I mean, geez, do we? There's really no reason not to. Let's get to taping, because that's the next stage of this little game here. I don't know, chat. What do you like? Do you like horizontal, or do you like vertical for your? Like if I put it vertical, I'm going to be upset by seeing these, but if I put it horizontal, I don't know, it just feels like I'm going to get more paint settling things down. Let's do it horizontal. And let's even it out in the screws here. Actually, we might just want to even go a little bit high, to be honest, because we want a good amount of tape at the bottom here. Princess Intel, we absolutely did put in the screws. Who actually asked the question? Someone answered it. Nigoki, yes. They are here, 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 and here. Yes. Are we sure you don't want the front screen squishing the coroplast for extra rigidity? The issue with that is that we probably could. The issue is that it's more difficult to get a better seal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the build suggests leaving the screen off. So I'm going to try that. The nice thing is that they're the screws. So if we do get it wrong, we can just tear the tape off, smack this back on, put the screws in, and have more rigidity. But honestly, let me just show you what it's like here. We've got so far. You know, let's do a test fit, or a test not even fit. Like doesn't feel like any need for extra rigidity in my mind. This is solid AF. I'm doing just fine in here. Actually, hello! Yeah, this is not going anywhere. And as soon as we get these Velcroed up and a Velcro thing on the bottom, that's going to be more than enough for rigidity. Okay, let's bring that down, and yeah, let's get the taping. Let's get that filter in there, and then we can start worrying about putting down the Velcro tape. So yeah, I'm going to do vertical air movement. Air goes that way, so saith the wire side. The wire will keep it from getting sucked into the fan. If it gets sucked into the fan, I've done something horribly wrong anyway. Centered on the hole. Okay. Let's crack open the T-Rex tape. Other tapes are available. Honestly, I went with T-Rex tape because Gorilla tape seemed like it might be too strong. And I hate duct tape. I absolutely hate duct tape with a passion. It's a bad tape. It doesn't stick all the time like it's supposed to. The adhesive is extremely susceptible to heat. And when it does peel off, it just sticks there and stays there forever. It's terrible, terrible tape. I would gaff tape everything if I could, because that is, quite frankly, my favorite stuff. This seems good, fine, I guess. I think what I'm going to do for this, oh my lord, this is strong tape. gaff has its uses, but it gets overused. I don't think so. I think it's actually, in my mind, I would use gaff tape for 99% of the things people use duct tape for. But that is me. So there we go. Let's do it right there. This tape, by the way, is kind of ridiculously strong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a slice here for myself. And then I'm just going to hold on to it for a second. And then I'm going to cut a secondary slice and see what happens when we try to pull it off of coroplast, because that might matter. Otherwise, we'd have to think about, I don't know, what's the word? I mean, you can always slice the tape. That's the thing. To remove things. Adding more tape is never a bad idea. It's just, pulling tape off that tends to ruin things. So let's get some on the coroplast. Let's leave a tab up there at the top. Really work that in there. And then let's just see what happens when we try to pull it off. Okay, so this is not going to be a problem, getting it off of the off of that. Interesting. Fun fact, the original inventor of gaff tape literally took the adhesive from his current day duct tape and impregnated cloth with it. As instead, modern day gaff tape uses its own version. That makes sense, yes. All right. So I'm going to start by taping the side of the filter and getting that nice and even. You know what, I'm just going to move this all forward so you can see what I'm doing a bit. There we go. Nicely edged. And let's fold that up. And then get it in position. Oh God. Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna have one chance at this. We're gonna have to M&M it. You get one chance, one opportunity. Do you tape it down or do you let it slide? Well, no, it needs to stay in one place, so I'm taping it down. Okay! You better lose yourself in the tape in the moment you want it. It's never gonna let go. You only get one shot to tape it down. Otherwise it looks like shit. And then you're sad because mustache smells like... Wow, I'm going all over the place here with song lyrics and references. Let's use this as an opportunity to not pay attention to Ian. All right, side 1, done. We're only going to get to side 4. Don't worry, side 7 is safe. Rotary sensor blames red-green for duct tape being so go-to tape for everything. Well, rotary sensor, would... I think that might just be a generational thing, because I would put that particular blame on MacGyver. Richard Dean Anderson, a.k.a. Colonel Jack O'Neill of the Stargate program. General by the end of his time there. An all-round guy. Yes, he was indeed an guy. Right, that seems like the place. Let's strip it, rip it, and see you later. Bye. I should, in fact, I'm going to put this tape down, upside down, on the table, and then attempt to remove my fingers from it. And then we're going to pick up some of this extra coroplast, so that I know what is material for future projects and what is the project currently. I'm going to put these in the living room. If you'd like to see more of my living room, don't want to, I have a certain amount of privacy I would like to maintain. Okay. Let us fold the tape in half and hope against hope that we can get a good contact here. Yes, 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 yes. Clean, straight. Good. Okay, now roll the tape down until you make contact with the surface. And then use an finger or something, kind of get it into the corner. I am using a screwdriver. And then smooth the rest out with fingers. And you have half a seal. We'll probably want to come around. You know what? Let's do that right now. Let's get that corner. Boop. Oh no. Sealed up. I mean, honestly, there's probably enough leakiness in this very piece of filter that things are going to go through, but yeah, duct tape has a hell of a legacy, and you can find out more about it on the television and internet. It's one of those kind of mythic products. Ooh, hey, that's an idea. Let's use the ruler to get it nice and smooth and sharp against the edges. Yeah, see it, yes. That's not... Or is it? That's helped a lot, actually. Okay, and then we'll just need to get another corner there, which I handily already have, thanks to that test strip. Let's just cover over that corner there, nice and tight. Good. And then one more up top, coming around the other side. You may lose some light, chat, for a moment. Do not be alarmed. This part is actually going a lot easier than I thought it would. I hate taping things because it's one of the least precision methods of adhering something to another thing. Love screws. Anything that has a slot so that it can be self-positioning. Bosses, standoffs. Give me all those. Give me all that good stuff. Let me know when I am in the correct spot. Uh-oh. Yeah, you know what? I think we're good there. Okay, that one side is sealed, and the other side is sealed. Perfection. If I was going to do one other thing to this, by the way, just to put in the note here, I might end up adding a few LED strips across here that I'll glue on, just to give myself a little bit more in terms of light when I end up actually painting in this thing. Holy hell, we are so close to done on this, friends. Okay. Take a drink, Ian. You deserve it. All right. Shit, I think it's Velcro time. Where's my Velcro at? Bark with me if you're my Velcro. Which makes a lot of sense. So we're using wow, actually, Hell, we're using Velcro brand Velcro. Other hook and loop options are available, but we went with the brand name because it was here. It was unavailable. All right, let's stand this up and have a look first. Let's get it positioned, and then we can add the tape. Oop. Oh, yes, please. I mean, the Maricat, so because I'm using acrylic paint, the main thing is I just use one of the, I would use one of those waterproof LED strips, like what we used in the moon base for the areas around the TVs. And then that way I can just come in there with a with some alcohol or even just some water, honestly, most of the time. And just, if things get covered up, whoop, give them a quick wipe. And also, yes, Draconite says the fan does a good job of that too. That's the whole point, hopefully. Okay. Let's turn this sideways. And let's get it on my chair so you can watch me do the thing. So we're going to go up here. And let's put and I don't know, chat, what do you like? Do you like do you like fuzzy on bottom or fuzzy on top? I think I want fuzzy on bottom as the receptive side, but I'm open to alternatives. Regardless, let's get us a thankfully, I have done already all of the calculations necessary for the Velcro in terms of making sure that I purchased enough, because that was a harrowing exercise. Fuzzy facing out? Okay, so fuzzy as receptor. Good. Right. Let's do this the way I think it makes the most sense, which is to say connect the Velcro pieces together. And then remove the backing tape. And then that way, they'll be in exactly the position you want it to be there. Oh, it's a standard, says Dragonite Streams. I forget why. Okay, chat, you have a new mission. Find out why that is standard. I love standards. I love adhering to standards because that means, so, yeah, I am a weirdo. I like being strange and saying unknowable things, but when it comes to making things that need to be repaired or understood by other people, I love standards because for those very reasons. It means that they can be understood without explanation by people who are also dealing with the thing that you are dealing with. Where did you go? There you are. Collects less junk. That makes sense, Morgan. Yeah. Like, the joke is that Ian... Okay, you know what? The one I can... the one ISO standard I can... that can quickly... go eat balls is 9,000. Just because anything that helps business in my mind is the opposite of what we want as a society. Okay. Top. And let's put it down low, because low is good in this situation. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then we're going to close it down. Get everything lined up the way I want it. And, okay, Omanai says, I know this isn't something that will need to be changed often, but I know I'm in design mode. Another panel slightly larger than the back one with a 1-inch side wings, also with Velcro on them, cut a large hole. The most large face Velcro received from the main. Yeah. Makes a pocket. Yeah, pockets I'd thought about as well, Manai, and I feel like they just specifically with this material, it feels unnecessarily not difficult, but it adds more spots where things can go through and things can rip, and I kind of want to avoid that. But I do appreciate that that thought, because that was my initial reaction too. It's like, is there a way we can make this better? And the answer is probably, but how much? And in my assumption, the answer is not enough. Okay, so now we've got these together. Got to de-velcro it carefully, and then give these a good pressing in so that they can cure where they are. But I think this is going to be just fine for our purposes without needing that original bottom flap. Oh, Tom Scott did a video about the ISO entry for making tea. That's one of my favorite ISOs. Oh ho, the Merricat has discovered the stainless steel hook and loop system, which is, I really like, just for being ridiculously strong and made of steel. Who wouldn't want steel Velcro? But again, we have to remember, it's not Velcro unless it's got the Velcro brand on it. And the registered trademark. Otherwise, it's sparkling hook and loop. And frankly, I think other companies could probably do it better. May have done it better. But hey, this is the hook and loop that was available at the store, and I didn't ask any men whether or not it was the one I wanted because I didn't want to talk to anyone. That's my biggest thing about being in the store. All right, that's that. Let's peel off the backing on the fuzzy side. Velcro fact, says Arclight. NASA has a certain quota of how much they were allowed to use inside an Apollo capsule following the Apollo due to it being explosively flammable in a pure oxygen environment. Good to know. If you're working in a high oxygen environment or pure oxygen, thankfully, I mean, this environment that we're working on right now would absolutely be disallowed in the Apollo program because of the exposed brushed motors. I hate it when exposed or when backing is too tightly adhered to its own substrate or whatever you call it. All right, let's get the pieces in position and then bring down the tab. Give it a good press to fit. The Merricat, Graham isn't the only one who's passionate about logo and mascot design. He's just the only person who's put out a video. But yeah, I would absolutely love to do an ISO standard / logo. Honestly, going through doing if I were to do a video like that with Graham, it would be about cautionary and other safety-based logos and signage on the ISO system. Maybe I will talk to him about that, because that actually sounds like a good idea. It's not like the man's doing anything else. The man is extremely busy. Do not ask the man to do anything else. All right. These are good. These top pieces are good. Let us do the same for the bottom. So I guess what's the best way to do this? There is no good way to do this. Great, 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 great. All right, let's just flip it upside down. And figure out our lives. Huh. Yep, we've certainly got ourselves into this mess, haven't we? Maybe we lay it flat again. That seems like the best option here. All right. So, this was supposed to have a tab on the bottom, but now it does not. And then we're supposed to tape it in, but I think what we can do is we can probably just tape it as is. Yeah, if we tape it here. No, actually, let's do the test fit things. Actually, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. We take this and we put this into its Velcroed position. I know we're supposed to probably wait 15 minutes for the Velcro to set, but we're in hyper assembly mode at the moment, so we'll have to wing it. Okay, good. There we go. All right. We're going to MacGyver it. Yep, this is just going to be straight up taped to the bottom. And then... wow, you can't even see that. Okay, let's flip it on its head. So yeah, we're going to have to just tape it right to the bottom here, right on the edge. And then... maybe not. Maybe not. If we want it to go... there, and there. Okay. Just on that side. So I'm just going to describe a quick line on the bottom of the thing here so that I know how deep to tape it to the bottom of the fan. But this is absolutely going to be able to fit on the bottom of the fan with some tape. And that's great because that's what I wanted. So let's twist this sideways a bit so you can see what's going on. Probably don't need any more tape than that. And that goes to there. Hi, Corey. How's it going? What you up to? Okay. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Where is my T-Rex tape? I found my butt pad. That's something. Tape, T-Rex tape. Big black tape. There it is. Thank you, thing. Haven't got to say that in a while.
Didn't get it out far enough, though.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Just been down here the entire time.
Oh, God. I hope I didn't get your hair or too much of it.
Yeah, you didn't.
How do you like the box so far? What do you think?
Good. Good work. Very straight lines.
Thank you. There was a lot of... Corey, you didn't see the trigonometry that we had to do to figure out lengths that weren't on the diagram.
Ooh.
It's fancy math. Fancy high school math we had to do.
Sokotoa is grade 9.
You're Sokotoa. Also, you were in school many years after I was. Also, I think you're probably right.
A lot going on with that statement.
Okay, I remember taking pre-calculus in grade 11 because I was going to be an engineer.
Then what happened?
Then I found the anime club. That wasn't the reason why I stopped being an engineer. I know. Yeah, but let me tell you, it didn't help. But I wouldn't be here if it weren't for it. So let's all think about that for a bit. Moving down the T-Rex. You're doing me dirty. Stop doing me dirty. Here's my top bit. Here's my top bit. All right. And center things up. No, no, no T-Rex tape for this. I've changed my mind. Velcro goes on the bottom now, so that we can pull this whole thing off and it can actually fold up in a way that's useful. T-Rex tape, go back to your position. By the way, anytime you hear me say X, go back to your position, that is a reference to the Stephen Chow film God of Cookery and the particular translation that I watched. It's one of the last lines of the film when the gods... Spoilers for God of Cookery, the Stephen Chow film. The other gods come down and then tell the God of Cookery, son, get back to your position and become a god. And he's like, no, I'm having too much fun here on Earth. Anyway, watch God of Cookery. It's a really good film. And actually, I would say is in fact my choice for best Stephen Chow film. Okay, that looks like it's going to be good. So that means we're going to have to put the Velcro on the bottom. Hauling means to go swap out your clone for a fresh one. Princess Intel, isn't that more Latoing? Paul didn't get many clones. Paul was unfortunately Paul was relegated to the singular Duncan, Idaho. Good news, Corey, we have plenty of Velcro should we need it for other projects. Velcro connected. I know who we're talking about, the Merricat. It is the Glitter Paul, not the Dune Paul. But we do not have any evidence that Paul Saunders' name is not a killing word. I also have no evidence to the positive in that regard, but I have no evidence to the negative. Right, Velcro on the bottom, nearly achieved. I'm pretty sure that line made it to something about The Bene Gesserit asking us if we need another bead yet. No, wait, that's right, I did get that out. That was part of the introduction of this year's button at Desert Bus. I think Corey ran off with my beer. No, she got her own. We have a kegerator in home. Okay. Point to point. Point to point. And bring down the bottom. Bottom attached. Bottom pressed in. We're going to have to take that off and then do some double press, but that's some good Velcroing. Nope, that did not do what I wanted it to do. That, in fact, did not adhere to the bottom of the... There we go, there we go. We had some tape peeling from the bottom of the fan, but that's now being... remediated. There we go, that's the word. Oh, and look at that. In placement, we got the fuzzy edge right along the edge of the strip, which is kind of where we want it to be. Not completely, but kind of. I'm just going to push that into the bottom of the fan a bit more. Okay, let's reattach it temporarily for purposes of attaching the side pieces, which will give this thing its full structural integrity and create a fully operational paint booth. Darth Vader, are you ready for another wicked command? I have so many skate tricks to teach you, young Anakin. Oh, the Marraket, yes, the kegerator did make it to the current moon base, and it lived a good and long life there until it decided that it no longer wanted to have refrigerant in its coils just before the pandemic. I'm going to call it we have words for a reason. And yeah, it's currently now living in a recycling yard in downtown Victoria. So we made it go away. New kegerator will either be extant from a secondary company, or we'll make a new one, depending on what makes the most sense. Hi. Hi. Twist that. And let's get some more. Let's get some Velcro on there. Okay. Repeal, restick. So it's all good and flat, and we're going to put hard piece on the flap is the convention we've been going with. Nope, we want to do it closer to the edge so we can have more pulling power. Lay that down. Do the same thing and pull away the backing tape on the fuzzy bit. The fuzzy bit, come on. This is always the worst part so far. Ah, there we go. This tells me it's good adhesive. All right, bend that corner in. press along the whole width. Separate the two forms of Velcro safely. Press in some more on the separated parts. Good there. And then let's twist it around. And the last piece. And then we get to test this, which is going to be fun. Timing's not too bad either. I'm going to go just a bit long, but not long enough that I'm going to be upset. And most importantly, it means I get to start painting in earnest. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Right here. Right here. I have this tray full of Gundam parts that I've separated out and sanded the marks off of. This was a model I put together back in 2007 when I was still living in Japan, and just hacked it together with not even nippers, just side cutters from a hardware store. And I want to make them good. Good. And let's pull the final bit of that backing. There we go. That one's all good. Get those two pieces together. Oh, the top is having some fun, having a time. Get these pieces back together, just so that they're... We want everything assembled when we do the final connection. Oh, Zenguin, yeah, no, it's... I mean, this was back in the time when I was even considering just bending the parts out of the gate to be a valid way of removing things from the gate. Like an absolute monster. Righty-o. Righty-o! Hold on, I just want to take this piece of branded packaging out of the inside, because we don't need it now. Oh no. Oh, you're one of those anti-theft labels? Monsters! Monsters! Oh my gosh, I hate you! Whoever invented this kind of sticker? The heck with you! Raycon Ian? Dungeon. I just want you to not be here, reminding me of brands while I paint. Come on. Come on. Lift up with yourself. The Maricat, there's probably going to be some Goo Gone happening after, or maybe a little bit of solvent, but right now I just want to get all the paper off. That's the worst, is when the paper tears and you get a mixture of adhesive and paper. It's like, why do I walk the earth when this is a thing that could happen to me? You absolute pieces of... You know what? We don't swear often in this program, but this kind of label is absolute dog shit. I would actually prefer just a smear of dog shit on the inside of this box or on any product, because at least dog shit I can wipe off once and it doesn't stick to everything. Oh my god. I don't need to use my fingernail to pick up the edge of dog shit in the vain hope that I'll be able to peel the rest of the dog shit off the plastic. Ugh. Yeah, we're absolutely solventing this later. But later. This is not a now problem. I mean, cleanup's happening very soon, but this is not a now problem. Hey, folks, we made a box. You can see it from above. This is what it looks like. It's big. Let's go to Big Booth Cam. And, boop. I'm gonna plug this in a second. Let's zoom out a bit here first, just so we can all have a good time seeing what we've built. There we go. Welcome to my apartment. It's nice. I like it. All right, plugging in cable. Getting, oop, it's gonna turn you off. Getting sample thing. Which one of these is good for that? There we are. That'll do. We haven't, man. We banned plastic bags in Victoria a long time ago, so I'm getting very close to my last few plastic bags for garbage. But let's make sure that this will work as intended by maximum power. There's a lot of air moving out that way. What happens if I do this? Yeah, what if I do this? Okay. So there is some suck that is occurring. Probably just need to seal up the outer edges of the fan here on the back. But I think this is going to work. Now, what am I thinking here? Do I have anything that's smoky that could work there? Actually, you know what? I do have something. But honestly, that's more than enough. That is going to pull paint in and stick it. Like it's not going anywhere. Unfortunately, I don't have any candles. Damn it. But this is it. This is enough. We built a filter. We built a fan. We built a box. A puff of flour. Yeah, the American. Let's try that. Let's see what I got. It's going to be difficult to see because everything's white. But let's see if I can just. All right, second test, the hand against the bottom. And there's a little flour, but not that much. Oh, you know what? There's a very easy way to test this. But honestly, yeah, let's do that. What are we looking for here? We're looking for a bit of ink. look. There we go. And where are you? Oh, you know what? Let's use the shitty one. I have a good airbrush and a shitty airbrush. The shitty airbrush is a makeup airbrush, but it works for having a... what is it called? It works as a portable compressor. So there's that. So let's just see here. Let's get some ink in. Whoops, no. I don't keep glitter in my home for reasons. The main reason being, I don't like glitter. All right, so let's hope that that ink is effective, and we won't probably want something to put that on. I don't know. Let's get a can or something. I absolutely want to make sure that that ink is closed, though. I do not want an open ink in my home. Let's just close that up there. All right, woo! You know, stepping on the cord will remove it from the plug. Okay. Raspberry can, you are now a test bed. Let's see what happens. Well, there you go, folks. I think that's your answer. Paint on the can, paint, excess paint on the filter. There you go. Let's zoom out. We did it. We have created an effective and useful paint booth, which can be folded up and put away. I'm excited. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with me as we do this this ridiculous show where I build things and you watch them, and we do projects. And this has been I need to put it this way because I'm going to either grab it and take a drink, and it'll be bad. I do want to take a drink of this. All right, so you may or may not see this particular device in future. Maybe we'll actually do some painting on stream at some point in the future, because that didn't... I don't know. Jack, how's that for sound? Is that annoying in any way? Because it sounds pretty fine to me. Gonna leave that on for a second until I get the answers from you. I need to clean this ink off my hand. Haven't heard the fan yet. Any paint on the fan? Oh, that's a good question. Well, there's paint on the fan where I put my fingers, but it's hard to tell because you can't see, but there is no... there doesn't appear to be any ink on the back end here. Everything has gone straight through the filter. So yes, that's going to be great. Nigoki says, do absolutely still wear a respirator because that will always be the best in the last line of defense even against non-toxic paints. Correct, Nigoki. You may not have been here for the beginning of the stream, but this is for acrylic-based paints only, nothing solvent or ignitable. And yes, the respirator is still, you know what, just so you all know, because I know you care about my safety, respirator here and ready to go. Or anytime we want to try that with anything more than just an ink. Again, never ever anything that could explode because that's an open wire fan. But that said, Yes, are acrylic particulates still not meant to go into lungs? Yes. The respirator keeps them out of the lungs. The paint box keeps them out of the room, and that's the key there. And of course, always work in a ventilated environment and whatnot, etc., etc. But yeah, now we can keep things clean. Now I can do a bit more painting. I can do priming. I can do all good stuff. So thank you, as I said, or as I was starting to say, for hanging out with me while we build this paint box and get myself ready for my my final form, I guess. I want to say once again, check us out over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Patreon will take 30% and we'll take the rest, and we'll be happy with it. We won't, actually, I don't know what the cut is, but if they still take a cut. Just like twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun, where you are right now. Thank you for your subs and bits. Thank you to those of you over at youtube.com/loadingreadyrun who are members. You can ask us questions in our Ask Lur. And of course, you can check out all the premium content over at youtube.com/loadingreadyrun. Streamium at youtube.com/loadingreadylive. And LRRMTG helpfully sequesters all the magic content there. Friends, we want to thank some people specifically here tonight before we go away. Those people are... Those people are... Cranston Snord. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to go back a couple more people here. Darkness King, COH, 34 months. Thank you for your continued support. Arclight Dynamo, thank you for your 52 months. That's 1 full year and weeks of support for the channel. Cranston Snord coming in at 49 months. Thank you for your support as well. Corpocracy coming in at the 63 months. Stop playing with scissors, Ian. Is not something that Corpocracy said, but thank you anyway. Too Many Knives, 37 months for the plus. Thank you so much. Rinsfelda is an 11-month subscriber. That's almost 10 months and almost Gregorian year. That's the word, right? Gregorian, yes. Symphonic Lolita subscribing for 13 months. TTSF and its Chinese bootleg counterpart, the Can't Design Sawhorses Club. You know, one of the things I didn't do on this program was when I bought a sawhorse from Canadian Tire for use as a mounting platform for my my racing wheel, but in order to get the right height for me to use at the couch, I had to end up hacksawing the legs off of a sawhorse. So yes, I've already done the Sawhorse Design Club. Ha-ha! Color Dunk. It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk. It's not even Dunk anymore. It's Technicolor Dunk, and they've been a new subscriber. Thank you for joining the channel. Territon for 16 months. Hello, folks. Hello to you as well. Territon, thank you. Foxfire for 50 months. 50 months, the 1 year. Absolutely. The math checks out. Juzche has subscribed for 28 months. Thank you for your continued support. Aquinas, 0 for 50 months. The number has become large. Get that big L. Wait, nope. We take L's here. And by L's, I mean the Roman numeral through 50. Please do more W's. McFluffin, 69 months. Nice. And Dr. Bobnar Awesome coming in at 58 months. Thank you for your continued support. Rounding us out tonight is Autumn Ray, 92 for 26 months. Thank you for your continued support as well. Let's have a look and talk about what's coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow is Elden Ring at 9 a.m. Pacific. Adam and Wheeler are going to continue banging their heads against whatever. There's a lot to that game, and it's all great looking, I gotta say. Checkpoint Plus, or Chill Point, I guess as they're calling it with words rather than on the schedule, happens at 2 p.m. And then, of course, the Friday Night Paper Fight joins the Brigade, joins the fight. This is why I didn't work for Smash. They happen at 5 p.m. and they'll be rounding out the evening playing 4-player Commander. We're going on to a Commander night. Saturday's wide open. Sunday has more Play It Forward at 9 a.m. with more of the Elden Ring and then Rhythm Cafe. And Is This Your Card round out the evening starting at 4 p.m. Folks, we're going to call it there for tonight. Thank you so much once again for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, for cheering, for being a patron. Thank you for chatting it up in the chat or just being a person who watches silently. We appreciate each and every one of you here. We'll see you in a fortnight's time, never in Fortnite, and as we say, ever forward, learning at a spite. Good night.